Happy Monday to you all. We still got a little bit of boringness, but we do have some altcoins waking up and we got a lot to speak about today. All of a sudden, we're at a 𝗕𝗶𝗊 pump. We've had memes over the last week do some great gains to the upside. And obviously, we have Bitcoin sitting over the weekend, not doing much. It did break out this wedge a few days back. It is currently retesting at the moment, and we're starting to form a nice little daily candle. Are we still putting too much pressure on the support? Is there more downside? Is this the test? Are we going to start making our way up? The same questions we ask every single week, and we got to stay focused on the chart. Maybe this is depression phase. Maybe it's a boring phase. But again, any moment you get something like the 𝗕𝗶𝗊 explosion, and we want to speak about what trades are still available as it speaks. We can see SHIB and PEPE always waking up every time Bitcoin goes slightly bullish. And we have a few more altcoins. I actually have one altcoin that's breaking a 12-month trend that I think might be one of the best trades possibly for this month. We can have a look at the different charts. But hey, guys, it is Monday. Let's pump it up. It's going to be a massive show. Let's go through Bitcoin. Let's go through all the altcoins. Let's stay motivated and let's have a fantastic show. No more wasting time. Let's get into it.
Click, click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click, click, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click, click. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banta fam, hope you have had a fantastic weekend. What's happening? I see the song came down a little bit early. Usually I'm pumped and I'm ready for my my intro. What's happening, guys? If you're brand new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. To the Banta fam, smash the like button. How are we doing? Pop in the comments. What's happening? Are you entertained by this fantastic moving market at the moment? How are you doing? Are you losing money? Are you making money? Are you just sitting flat, just trying to stay motivated? Let me know in the comments below how things are going. Guys, okay. Let's jump in. So remember, we have the banter competition. We are ranked around 24 at the moment. I was a bit annoyed because I was building this long Doge position and I built it for some time. And then it had a wick down yesterday, did wick me at my stop loss. So for now, what I am doing is taking a little break on Doge. I still have a position I want to build. I'm just giving it a little bit more time. It is currently sitting on support. So we're going to speak about Doge shortly. But I have entered Solana on a short-term long. And I'll explain to you guys how we've broken out, retested. So here is my position at the moment on Solana. I'm basically playing the turtle race where it's 1-2 trades for the entire competition. So for me, a lot of people are battling out this market at the moment. For me, I'm building a very big position for that nice 5-10% move, inflate the account pretty quickly, and there from that, take it nice and easy. So that's still my goal this week, is to choose between Solana and Doge. These have been my two tokens. I'm still going to come back to Doge. But yes, I've been stopped there, and now I'm moving to Solana, and I'll be moving back to Doge. So that's where I'm at the moment. How are you guys doing? I see we're not doing too bad as a team over here. Not too bad at the moment. I was actually having a look at these guys over here. They got 18 people in their squad, and look at their leading member, 13,000%, and their second one's 9,000. The rest are sort of average at the moment. So it's crazy. We sort of need one of those in our team at the moment. And that's why I'm trying to build some massive positions, hopefully get that big trade to get to 1,000, 2,000%, and then take it nice and easy. Because if I look at our team at the moment, doing pretty good. Not bad at all at the moment over here. Let's actually have a look here. I just want to see here. We got Mama Sniper up here too at the moment. There's Mama Sniper over there sitting at 24th. So she's coming in pretty strong. Was also holding Doge. I saw she was in the top 10 yesterday, but Doge has been taking a little bit of time. Okay. let's quickly go through that and go through all the plans at the moment. So not much has changed on Bitcoin. At the moment, all we focus on is a higher low. That's very important. We just want to focus on higher low. Therefore, after that, attempt a higher high sort of move. So as things stand, we still have this wedge at the moment. We still had 2 bounces on the support of around the $28,500 level. And so far, we're still holding that. Then what happened is we broke trend. We ended up pushing to around $30,200 last week, made the higher high. And now what we want to see is a retest of this trend, hold this area over here, and then chase down, get a higher low and then chase down the higher high. So if we look at the 2 plays on Bitcoin at the moment, what we would like to see is we would like to see a nice little bounce. As things stand, this is a pretty good candle that's forming over here, but we would like to see a nice little move to this upside over here and continue this higher high method. So on this push at the moment, if we continue up over here, we would like to get above 30,300 and hopefully start turning that into support to start chasing down the big nemesis, which is the $32,000 area. If we do get through 32,000, we've got 35, 38, and 41,000 as those targets. And there'll be a nice little weekly squeeze to the upside. Let's quickly speak about the risks at the moment. So what you have over here is, let me actually jump, because you've seen that wedge. So what you can do is you can put this little trend line over here at the bottom as well with those 2 wicks. And that's sort of the support at the moment. You can see it's basically tracking the trend of Bitcoin at the moment. And it's sort of in the side sort of choppy range. So we can see it over here. It's sort of sticking similar highs, similar lows as things stand. So for now, this would be a very important area just to focus on. If we do lose that, you'll basically see something like this. And then we could possibly go down. If we do go down, I do have around 27,200, if not 26,500 as my targets. So you would basically just pay attention to the lower low, this nice little wick over here as the areas to focus on. And then we would basically know if we start to close like that, okay, bit of downside. As things stand, boring as hell, but still holding some sort of bullish momentum over here, as well as holding the wedge. So that is still, right now, you got to look at the day and be like, okay, bullish for now, as we track those major areas. But Bitcoin for now, boring, but is still remaining slightly bullish for the week at the moment. Looking at dominance, this is because what we had was this nice little dump off XRP pump. We then started a little bit of rampage to the upside. It's crazy how dominance goes strong when Bitcoin is at critical zones. So now you do have a little bit of limelight sitting within Bitcoin. But then over the last 4 or 5 days, we've had the little bit of downside in dominance. Therefore, you started to see 1 or 2 altcoins start to shine, right? We started to see some of the meme coins wake up. We started to see, obviously, the HBAR pump that came recently, render pump. We're going to speak about the render pump as well. And many small different tokens that are starting to move. So it's crazy when we get a little bit of redness in dominance, how you do still get that popcorn effect. So what we want to see over here is the 2 plays again. So the first play is, and the way I'm sort of seeing it, is if Bitcoin breaks up and it does go for that 30,300, there is a possibility that dominance goes up. We still have this zone of a possible rejection, which is over here. Okay, or it really goes crazy, goes past 32, and this rampages all the way up. And I do think it will break the high and go maybe 53, 54, maybe even 55%. But that for me would indicate a 35K, 40K Bitcoin if we really push that strong sort of level. But what we got to pay attention to as well is we're on the resistance of a trend line right now as things stand. Now, if this was the little push to the upside, chart-wise, there should be another leg down. And this trend line is the one that's going to indicate it for us. So let's say Bitcoin does remain above 29,000. It just decides to trend sideways at the moment. And this falls and we lose a nice little support over here. You'll see a nice little altcoin rally to the upside. I think possibly Ethereum will join the party. We can see Ethereum is starting to wake up a little bit. We'll speak about that in a sec. But this is what we would like to see for really, really strong altcoin move. The second thing that happens is you do get this big drop off, but it is a Bitcoin dump. So it does look like when the markets go bullish, you still have dominance slightly to the upside. And if it goes bearish, it does look like it protects the altcoins. So very much eyes on Bitcoin at the moment. And it does look as things stand that we should get another leg down. Will this be a pump or a dump? Obviously, if we get a Bitcoin breakout and this comes down, pay attention to any altcoins that are breaking 200-day moving averages and obviously breaking big trends. And speaking about big trends, let me give you guys the token that I think is going to do really well. A token that got hit really hard. And if we catch this breakout at the moment, I think we're going to get crazy gains to the upside. I think it's nice and early as things stand. But basically what we have is 𝗿𝗍 token, 𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗍. And obviously big in the NFT space. Token came out. We know the community is very strong. It went on a little bit of this downtrend from January this year. And basically it's been all the way down to now August. We've basically had around about an 8 to 9 month downtrend. And you can see this weekly over here. Now, guys, I want to explain timeframes and breakouts. So when it comes to any trend lines, the higher the time frame, the bigger the breakouts and more safer the breakout is. If you got breakouts in 5 minutes, it's very small, maybe a breakout for 20 minutes bullish. If it's the 15 minute, maybe an hour bullish. If it's an hour, maybe the next 6 hours bullish. If it's the 4 hour, maybe the next 2 days bullish. If it's a 12 hour, maybe the next week, 2 weeks. If it's daily, next month. If it's weekly, next 2 to 3 months. So you start to understand that trends are more powerful when you can pick up the bigger time frame. So again, anything that's in your long-term portfolios, make sure you're trading them on weekly. That's how you're going to become really accurate and really good. So it's so important, again, to make sure that you know what is a trading portfolio, what your long-term portfolio. Don't mess up your long-term. Remember, your long-term is going to survive all this choppiness. Your trading portfolio might struggle in the choppiness, but your long-term is there to ride through it. And over time, you make money. So again, just stick to your weekly and monthly on any higher time frames. But here's the 𝗿𝗍 trade. So as we could see over here, we basically had the big dump off for a while. We started to go sideways, and now we're popping our head through this trend. And we're popping our head through this trend, and all of a sudden, this can be a nice, strong move to the upside. We have the 200 daily moving average at 3.5. And then we have the 618, which is this whole leg over here, which is usually what we go to as a retracement, which is around 4.7. So this token for me got beaten quite a bit. I think there was a lot of sell-off and a lot of tokens that were out on the markets. And now we've retraced all the way back down to the original areas, and we're breaking this trend. So for me, this looks like one of the stronger tokens. On the daily, shorter time frame, it is showing strength. And on the weekly, this is a big break. So as soon as it gets through this area over here, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a zone of where you can accumulate this. I would like to stick this as maybe some short-term trades, but more as a great spot trade. But if you look at this little range over here, I think there's a slow grind up to over here, which is still a good 10, 20% over here. But this is the area I would use to accumulate the token. I would like to be in the token by the time it can get through here, because then the acceleration will start pretty quick to the upside from there. So 𝗿𝗍 token is one of my favorites for the week as things stand, if not possibly for the next month. Just for a nice, decent play, I would pop my stop loss around 1.75. It's around about a 10, 12% stop loss. So a spot trade would make a lot of sense within this trade over here. Short time frame, I think it will be good, but I think it'll be fun to trade it once it's above this line over here. For now, I would secure the entry and focus on what's really good. So remember, now that we have Bitcoin at a major zone and we have the dominant sort of just trending, you got to trade what's breaking incredible good trend lines, higher time frame breaks, and coins that are showing strength. Definitely important to not just trade anything at the moment. Trade something that's really showing key breakouts. Okay, let's quickly pop through a bunch of these tokens and see where we're at the moment. So we'll quickly start with ETH. Let's have a look at ETH. So I just want to give you guys on this show today a little bit of a view for the week, how we can be looking for the play for the week. So if we see over here, ETH still good. It's obviously done nothing for, what is it, about 2 months. Not much has happened at all. But I want you still to remember that it's firstly still held the main bullish trend for ETH, which is very important, indicating that there's still big gains possibly for this year to come. And then what we have as well is it's still held the 200 daily moving average. So that's a very key indicator at the moment to stay above. And basically means any tests that we have on 200 day and on supports are load up zones to dollar cost within the in those specific areas. And also knowing that when calmness comes, we know the big move happens at any moment. So you want to make sure that whenever the coin is boring and sideways and it's in a great range, that's the time to accumulate. When it's moving, you've missed it. So don't go too late. Don't go against your rules. Very important. So secondly, what I'm putting over here, it's basically indicating around the 1800, 1850 is your dollar costing zones. And then what I have over here is a 12-hour trend line. So just pop this trend in over here. It does indicate that this may go a little bit down and take a little bit more time until the pop. or at any moment now, it can literally get through here. And I think we're going to have a nice little pop back to 2K pretty quick. I do think that the 2K to 2100 will be tested again. Will it reject? We shall see. But once it gets through there, it now opens doors to 2600, 2800, and 3100 sort of areas. So again, if we're going to have that dominance collapse, you want to pay attention to a token that's big that could give that. And that's why we're focusing a little bit on ETH at the moment, just to see why ETH has such a lag in here. Is it like coiling up? You know, a lot of people say, oh, it's dead, these sort of things. Not really. Like sideways accumulation is, you know, the longer it accumulates, the bigger the move. So maybe it's just poisoning up for a really big move, possibly the upside or the downside, but definitely accumulating for a massive move. And if I look at it to the ETH Bitcoin, it's still holding trend, which is good. And if it does bounce over here and finally get through this resistance is when it can really start to move. So if I look at it, ETH to Bitcoin, it's still holding support. Therefore, still showing that there can be strength at any moment when it comes to ETH. Let's quickly speak about some of the meme coins. So we have PEPE. See this wedge that I spoke about, guys? These nice little down wedges. You see, this is on a 4-hour, 8-hour chart. We saw this now on the ape chart. That's why I'm showing like anything that you can find in a higher time frame that's giving this sort of pattern usually indicates a volume breakout. So if you have a look, a little bit of volume that comes in, therefore starts to change the trend. So what I think that's happening with PEPE, we'll soon see if this is a real run or a fake run, because it's approaching a very important 618. So if you take a Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, it's going to basically give us an indication that this is something like this, or it's really something that's going to get going. And that's why we're approaching the big zone. So I would not be buying, but I'll just be prepared if I do have PEPE to maybe offload a little bit in this area over here to see, is there another push down before for another move to the upside, or possibly wait for this to turn into a nice support and then get to move. But we'll soon know, is this meme run at the moment real or fake? Because if it rejects here, it was just a little fake out and we're going to continue back down to the downside. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see if this meme run is actually real. And that will jump me straight back into SHIB. So if we look at Shibu, obviously been one of the big leading ones over the last week at the moment. And one thing that did happen over the last 2 days is it did get back above the 200 daily moving average and has tested it as support. So as things stand, it's looking pretty good when it comes to SHIB at the moment. But what you want to see is if you take your Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, it's the same thing. We want to see if this gets through 618. And it's basically indicating that where it rejected, over there, we got to get above there to know that the same thing, that this is not fake. Let's just get this drawing. There we go. That this is not fake to the downside. That's what we want to see. Because if we still get a lower high over here, it still indicates a possible lower low. And that's a big thing we want to see at the moment, if it's real or not. So if I want to see bull, maybe there's some short-term trades over here, tight stops. But we want to see us get above there and really start to break through these areas. Now, you could see this is literally tapped out when it comes to SHIB at the bottom over here. If we get through on the weekly, we get through those highs up there, then we really start the moves. So for me, it's still below these areas over here. So still forms under the bear market sort of part of the chart. And only once we get above those levels, which is still like 50% away from where we are now, then I would say it's in bull market. So for now, it's a little bear rally. We'll soon see if the meme tokens are real, if this run's real or not. Okay, let's quickly go into Solana. So I want to speak about Sol for a sec. So obviously Sol had the big run a few weeks back to the areas of 32. Then what we did is we took a trend line and we tracked that momentum over there. It did break it. Okay. And now basically what it has is it's starting this little sideways flag over here. So you can see it's basically making similar lows, similar highs over there. So for me, I bought it on support this morning. I'm going to see if it pushes up to these areas. If it doesn't get past 25, I will TP out there to see maybe it's going to just continue this for a little while longer, or it does break through, turn that into support, and I do think it will finally get back to the areas of 28. Reason why I'm saying 28 is because if you take your Fibonacci again from the top to the bottom, you'll basically have an indication that your 618 is around 28.50. So again, we want to see if it goes there and it rejects, it does mean that there's another possibility to a leg down. But if we get through that, then things could look good. But right now, Sol is still looking good. This is a nice little bull flag. We just want to start making some progression and get out of the short-term sideways flag at the moment. So that's why I'm on Sol. Doge looks even more bullish at this area over here. We are getting bullish divergences. I'm just waiting. So what I'm waiting for now is I held it for a whole 7 days last week. And it had a nice sort of push. I managed building a massive position. But the little wick last night did get me. So now I'm taking a small breather. So what I'm waiting for is I think that the second half of the competition will be my Doge positions. So that's why I'm running Sol. So as it stands now, definitely it supports around 7.3. But here is the main support trend line, guys. The main one, that you want to add at any moment. So what we want to see here is I do think it pushes up a little bit, and it could still do this for another 2-3 days. But when we get through this trend line, is when it can finally hunt down the big push to the upside. And that target is still 9.2 to 10 cents as my region. So I'm still strong on Doge at the moment. It did lose yesterday, the 200 daily, but it doesn't look like the 200 daily is a very strong indication on Doge because it keeps like popping its head in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So for me at the moment, I'm not taking that too seriously. I'm just taking big serious to obviously the support trend over here and giving it a little bit more time. So I still think Doge is it's in that phase of sideways now and accumulating. But I don't know. I still think there's that, if you got a Shiba run, you got a PEPE, something's coming at any moment for Doge. A tweet. Good tweet. Maybe a tweet will come at any moment. Okay, things like Matic, they still hit those supports, still okay at the moment. Put these flags in play. I do still think there's a gap, bullish gap to the upside. So for now, it's just accumulating. Just put that flag in play and just be slightly patient. If we lose the bottom, possible to the recent supports, but I'm obviously paying attention to any resistance breaks at the moment. Same thing when it comes to Cardano. There's it back in support. So what you want to do is you want to just pop this trend in over here and just be patient. Everything's at resistance right now, guys. You got Phantom. So Phantom obviously had a little bit of a nice bounce last week, coming from 22 cents to 24. So no major moves just yet. And now it's basically forming this flag. So it's giving us two scenarios here. It's either going to come back here and accumulate for a little while longer, which I think would be better on the higher timeframes if that played out. But it also gives us a nice resistance that if this finally cracks here, there is still a big target of 35 to 40 cents for me. So I'm being a bit patient with Phantom at the moment, but you're basically fishing in an area where you don't know when it's going to run, but it's going to be a really big fish when you catch it. So you just got to stay focused within that because you never know. Phantom was still 65 cents this year, and it just came back and filled this. So if it does decide to really hit a proper rampage, you can see the weekly is completely oversold. We should make our way back to at least 40, and then we'll decide from there. Remember, we take the 618 from the top to the bottom, and it gives you the area of where you're possibly going to see resistance at any moment over there. So we have Phantom. Let's go through one of the big movers, Render. So Render waking up, nice little volume spike over there on the 4 hour. Not full bull just yet. It's actually at resistance. So if you look over here, there's the trend line. There's the 200 daily. So Render, yes, nice on the daily, starting to wake up, but it's not bullish until we get past 1.8 and actually turn that into support. So anyone here, any shorters or any short-term bears, this is probably the good area to sell out or to possibly take a small little short, possibly just to see if we do turn that through. So what we want to see here is actually a break and a test and then start to move that way up. So it's looking good. It just has more work to do. It has to turn what was previously support. You could see here for a very long time, 1.8 was support and now it is resistance. So we have to get through there again. So it's not full bull just yet. So if I wanted to buy Render, I'll still be waiting back at support, which is 1.5 to 1.6, just until we are sure that we get through those areas. We got GRT, short-term wake up. Again, we have these basically resistances over here. So until we're above resistance, we still got to go slightly bearish at the moment that it will come back over here. So these are my areas still around 10.5 cents or anything like that. But GRT is going to be one of the fun ones. Pay attention to it because if it does break that into support, we can start the movements to the upside. So you sort of getting the general feeling that a lot of coins right now, not all of them are moving, except this big boy over here. Come on, Rune. Like we deserved this a long time ago. But thank you for showing us a little bit of a heartbeat So obviously a nice little ThorChain break to the upside. What I like about this over here is obviously the huge influx in volume. So whenever you get a breakout, you want to know if the breakout's real. You want to see a massive push in volume. And you can see that was a really good push. So this is, it's coming with volume and it's actually a real breakout. Now it's about where do you buy it and how long do you hold it for? So the first thing you want to pay attention to is us popping our head through the 200 daily moving average, which is around the 1.3. So if it keeps just holding that, we should hunt down and push to the 1.8 sort of area as the next target. If it does that, I would be slightly patient for any buys. So if I got it, I'd be happy and hold nice and strong, but I'd be a little bit patient with the buys, as there is still the possibility of losing that and just coming and testing the original support trend line. So I would still be waiting around 1.1, 1.2 for some buys on ThorChain. But if you look at this on the higher time frames over here, this could finally be a decent move. This could finally, look at that volume. Love that volume. So in order to get some real movement at the moment, because now we're still facing this resistance here, is you want to basically see ThorChain start to make its way up to these areas of around 1.8 and turn that into support. And then we can start looking at the areas of $3, $4, if not the higher sort of areas. So this has been, how much has ThorChain been before? $22, $25. So this could be a rampage entry. Think about it. Imagine ThorChain never goes back to $1 for like another year, 2 years. You could be sitting on an entry here that can give you a 20x for the bull. Like, the project's still here, team's still good. So just pay attention on this. This is really, really, if you look at the weekly over here, absolutely punished right at the bottom here, and it's crazy. And you know what I like about ThorChain is it has like, it does get punished when you buy it wrong, but when you buy it right, it like has, if you look at Bitcoin, we had 1-2 bull sort of runs in the last bull market. But look at this, there was a few strong bull legs that come here through ThorChain. So it sleeps for a while, but then it does something crazy like a nice little 5x at any single moment. So definitely nice to see this token come to life, because we want this token here in a bull market. It's a lot of fun, and it gives us the percentages and the volatility that we want in the current market. At the moment. So ThorChain, good. I'm glad to see that coming back to life. Let's quickly speak about XRP. So XRP, there's a big, obviously, we created a gap at around 50 cents when we broke out, and then we put this trend in, and so far it's broken trend. It's just trending sideways. So again, you just want to pay attention here, put a nice little trend in as it stands. But if we do break out here, I think XRP is going to come back to life. I think it's going to attempt a possible higher high. So if it breaks through this area here, my first target over here would basically be from top to bottom at 618. So it's 80 cents, lower high, and that's like the bearish scenario if we break out over there. Bullish scenario, obviously, we go to the high, if not break it. And then I do think the dollar is on the cards. But pay attention. This might be a very fun token, especially if we hold this horizontal over here. If we lose the horizontal, which is around 60 cents, then you have 50 cents sort of mark. So pay attention. Let's quickly look at Chainlink. Break and retest and possibly breaking short-term trend. So for any short-term traders, maybe have a look at Chainlink. It might be one of the fun tokens to trade for the day. And let's see if there's any other interesting ones here. We got Theta, beautiful accumulation. So again, I just bring Theta up here as a nice little long-term. It still shows a while till a big weekly breakout, but I think long-term, I still feel this is a 10, 15, 20x for the bull. So just to pop that up. Let's quickly look at AVAX. This is crazy. AVAX not doing much at the moment at all. But we do have a nice little day trend. So if you look at this current move from bottom to top, we're on 618 and we have a trend. So pay attention. If we do break through this trend at any moment the next day or two, it might be a very fun token. And I think it goes up to 200 daily moving average. If we do get that breakout, which is a good, 20-25% move. Let's speak about HBAR. Great. Volume breakout at the moment. It is at major resistance. So I'll be very careful of buying it right now. But really good to see it move. I think what it will do at some point, maybe tomorrow, is that maybe it will come test this 200 daily. So it's around 6 cents. That's probably the better buy. But this is looking good. You know what I want you guys to do with these tokens? I want you to look at them and just look at how they did it. What they broke, when they broke out. Doesn't mean you necessarily have to trade the token, but more start looking at the success successful tokens, go look at what they did, like what trends they broke, what moving averages they broke, where was the RSIs. Just go get a little bit of idea of what's the technique to get these breakout on these tokens. So this, I would definitely not buy now. It's way too late, but I would study it to see what did it do, what did it break, how do I catch this on another token? And I think it's going to help you guys a lot when that happens. Let's quickly speak about Singularity, a little bit of AI. Broke a long-term trend, and at the moment is at a resistance. So if it gets through here, we might start a nice little rally to the upside. And if it decides to do this whole leg, this might be a really good entry. So zoom in there, put your trend lines in, check your RSIs. But AGIX is definitely one of the nicer ones. Let's pop 𝗿𝗏 on here. 𝗿𝗏, what you seeing, bro?
How's it, bro? What's going
happening? On? Lekker.
Little bit hungover.
Oh, that's good.
Had a bit of a rough weekend. Some of the guys in this office can party quite hard. It was good. It was fun.
Best time. Okay, what are you seeing, bro?
So we're looking at a lot of similar coins. So I've got a list in front of me. I'm just going to go through what I have. You have spoken about like Render, for example. This is what I'm looking for on Render. We've broken into this old range. So, for me on Render, I'm looking for a little bit of a move down there and then just to push back up. So that would be like a scalp for me to ride the top of this range. Look at this resistance zone here. This is this 200 MA on the 4 hour that Sam taught us about last week. Remember we had Sam Price on here. He was going over a couple of things with us. So this is becoming quite an interesting resistance zone for Render, like you've pointed out. Trend line, 200 MA on the 4 hour and the 200 day. So, if we get up there, look out. You're going to get a rejection there of some sorts. And then I love what you're saying. It's bullish when we break there and we get the retest and we go. So I'm super keen on that one. Then I've got Fetch, which we showed this break of trend. We had the 786 bounce, break of trend, and we've pushed into TP. And now it's looking quite aggressive again, potentially moving on to the second TP now. So my eyes are on Fetch. Just be careful here. We kind of want to see this flag play out. So don't just randomly jump in. You want to kind of play the flag because we can quite easily get a move down here, guys. So just watch out for that one. AGIX you've covered. Very similar to Render. Looking at that. Okay, a little pullback there. I've seen questions in the chat regarding OP. This is one we were watching last week. Yeah, it started dumping. There was a whale selling a lot of tokens, and it came down at wick just below the 618. But this box is still in play, so we gave the setup. I think it was on Discord. It could have been on the Telegram. The setup is there. It's still valid for a small move, maybe up to we're looking for about a 10 to 12% on OP from this region, and the stop is very clear, very easy exit. And I've added in Sam's little 200 MA on the 4 hour again. So guys, something to play around with. Put it on your trading view. Add it to.
It looks interesting.
It's a fun little MA to play with. So we've got the same one on Link. Look at that. Link's just sitting on this guy as well. So something to watch. And Sam told us about it last week, and we specifically looked at Algo. And look how Algo respected this 200 MA on the 4 hour. So that was nice, nice little push up for Algo. Just be careful here, guys, potentially looking a bit bearish, possible double top. So just be cautious there. What else do I have? I've got Comp, still waiting for Comp to give me a better entry. But, we've potentially got this little double bottom here for Comp. So that is something to watch. Maybe we're not going to get the dream entry that I was waiting for. So, keep your eyes on there. If you are desperate to be in Comp, your support would be under this area here, this 53.2. So that's a good support zone there. H-bar you've covered. CFX. Look how it's holding this level, bro. It's not going down. Look at this from June. So we're definitely building a support base here for CFX. Don't know what's coming, but if this thing starts moving, look where this 200 day is. It's 200 days here at this 0.23 level. So it could be a hell of a move still for CFX. Ideally, you want to get a deep pullback. You don't want to catch it here if you're trading leverage. You want to get it deep down here. But it could be a nice one. It could be a 42%. CFX.
Could be good. Yeah, bro. Like everything's sort of just sitting. I'm hoping we get that dominance fall. That'll be really good. But we need a big dog. We need a ETH or Doge or something to rip to get that dominance to go down. These little coins are not going to get it to go.
It's actually been quite good. We're getting these little coins exploding. But the tricky part is you need to be watching the whole time. So while BTC's been so boring and things like AVAX, I mean, that was my worst trade in history. I sat in AVAX for 7 or 8 days and it's completely flat. So frustrating, So it's tricky. These things are popping at different times. I mean, Rune is a classic example. I'd love to see this pullback on Rune to trend 200-day, maybe get a sneaky entry there. I know you saying
it's crazy, eh? When everyone loses hope, no one looks at it anymore. It rips out of nowhere. Yeah. It's a big lesson.
So interesting one.
Okay, amazing, bro. Are you in any trades yourself?
Yeah, so I'm in GMX on the ByBit competition. That's my only current position. I'm looking for something good now. I got absolutely rinsed on that render, so I'm a little bit behind here on this ByBit. So I'm looking for an absolute banger. I am considering this Doge here, potentially off this trend and this.
Yeah, I'm so annoyed. Like 7 days, I've held it.
Yeah.
It better not go bull yet.
Doge
it better not go bull yet.
But you know what? I mean, I don't want to turn my back on AVAX because it's looked after me before. And it's squeezing into this little trend here. And I don't know, if you want to be long, this could be the tightest entry in history for a nice big move. It's a 10% move there. Let's see what we got. You could get a 1.5% stop, 17% move if it blows up.
Yeah. A lot of coins are like that right now.
Yeah. So obviously, if BTC loses these areas, we know AVAX is coming down to 11.2. But until BTC loses those levels, we got to assume at some point they're going to all have their charts. We've seen these things blowing up. Link is gone, Sol's gone, Doge, all these guys. So AVAX, just don't turn your back on it completely.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that again. Many lose interest, and again, it's just going to wake up. Cool. So I think we've given a nice little overview for this week. I think let's see today's move. Let's get direction, and then let's trade the shit out of it. Let's do it. We'll have a nice big session again tomorrow. Get a bunch of traders on, and we go. So guys, have a fantastic day. 𝗿𝗏, thank you, brother.
Later, guys. Ciao.
Cool, guys. Ciao. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love, guys. Go to our Discord. Go to the Discord below. Join our Discord, the competition Discord. I'm dropping my spreadsheets today, positions, sizes, any ideas with single trades as well. So remember, if you're part of the competition, you get that. Much love, Banter fam. I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love. Okay, they call me the Sheldon the Sniper, but apparently I'm not really good at actually shooting real guns. But I think I do know the problem though. If I have a look here, we got the trend. If I add in some trend lines and maybe a little bit of a RSI at the bottom, maybe this will help me hit the bullseye on the next shot. Let's have a look. So guys, as you can see, as I draw trend lines, we start to hit the bullseye. We have one of the biggest ByBit competitions coming up, the WSOT, that starts on the 24th of July. Go below and sign up. Come and join the Banter Whale team. Come join me and let's snipe those entries. And you can win up to $8 million. I'll see you all on the charts.